Did you know that eating just 7 walnuts a day can increase the flexibility of your blood vessels by up to 60%? In today's episode, you'll learn how a simple recipe can support the regeneration of your circulatory system, reduce symptoms of atherosclerosis, and combat inflammation. Stay with me until the end, as I'll show you step by step how to prepare this health-boosting meal at home. It's truly a simple and effective way to improve your health. Let's get started. One of the key components of a diet that supports vascular health is walnuts. Scientific studies have shown that regular consumption of walnuts can increase blood vessel flexibility by up to 60% and reduce the ability of atherosclerotic plaques to adhere to the vascular endothelium by 20%. What's even more impressive is that achieving these benefits requires just 7 walnuts a day, a small amount that can deliver significant health advantages. These findings are supported by scientific studies that examine the impact of walnuts on the vascular system in individuals with type 2 diabetes. It's important to note that in people with type 2 diabetes, damage to the inner layer of blood vessels, known as the endothelium, is even more pronounced than in the general population. This is due to the harmful effects of excess glucose, which leads to a process called glycation. However, what's remarkable is that even under such challenging conditions, walnuts have demonstrated the ability to reduce inflammation in blood vessels. Let's dive into the scientific evidence. A 2009 study found that consuming a diet enriched with 56 grams of walnuts daily for 8 weeks significantly improved endothelial function in individuals with type 2 diabetes. Furthermore, the results of this study align with earlier research, which demonstrated that regular walnut consumption enhances endothelial function in adults and even reverses post-meal endothelial dysfunction caused by a high-fat diet. Now we know why walnuts are one of the key ingredients in today's recipe. The second ingredient we'll discuss is chia seeds. Chia is an excellent source of fiber. So let's ask a very simple question. What does fiber have to do with our arteries, veins, and, of course, atherosclerosis? Well, fiber is another crucial dietary component that helps prevent the development of atherosclerosis and arterial stiffness. What's more, we can start maintaining proper fiber levels in our diet from a young age. As the saying goes, what is learned in youth is carried into old age. That's why I want to send an important message to young people. Instead of reaching for unhealthy fried fast food, consider quick and healthy options like the one I'll share in today's episode. Of course, I understand that today's youth often don't believe in these things. That's why we'll also try to convince younger viewers that it's worth thinking about their health now to avoid problems in the future. Let's bring in some scientific evidence. A 2012 study found that lower dietary fiber intake throughout life is directly associated with increased stiffness of the carotid arteries. To summarize what we've discussed so far, we can conclude that walnuts and fiber, found in large amounts in chia seeds, play a dual role. First, they help prevent the development of vascular diseases, including atherosclerosis. Second, they can alleviate the symptoms of existing conditions, including atherosclerosis. This combination is absolutely no coincidence. The inclusion of chia seeds and walnuts in the same recipe serves yet another crucial purpose, once again tied to the health of our blood vessels. One of the causes of atherosclerosis in our arteries is the excess cadmium found in the foods we consume, both plant and animal-based. Cadmium makes its way into food products because it is introduced into agricultural fields by farmers through fertilizers. Phosphate fertilizers, which are made from rocks called phosphorites, unfortunately contain very high levels of cadmium. The process is straightforward from there. Plants absorb cadmium from the soil along with the fertilizers, and it eventually ends up in our bodies. Without delving into the other harmful effects of cadmium on our health, let's focus on its connection to atherosclerosis. Cadmium, which is difficult to avoid these days unless you grow your own plants or raise your own animals, plays a significant role in the development of atherosclerosis. It acts in several ways. First, it triggers inflammation in the endothelium of blood vessels, which leads to oxidized cholesterol adhering to the inflamed areas. This is how the formation of atherosclerotic plaques begins. Let's present the scientific evidence. A 2018 study titled Cadmium and Atherosclerosis, a review of toxicological mechanisms and a meta-analysis of epidemiological studies states, The atherogenic mechanisms of cadmium may include oxidative stress, inflammation, endothelial dysfunction, increased lipid levels, upregulation of adhesion molecules, and others. So, we now know that cadmium is one of the factors that increases the risk of developing atherosclerosis. We also know that fiber and the compounds found in walnuts can help reduce this risk and alleviate the symptoms of an existing condition. So why did I mention that today's combination of ingredients is no coincidence? Chia seeds are an excellent source of magnesium. What's more, magnesium, when combined with alpha-lipoic acid, found in both walnuts and chia seeds, effectively reduces inflammation caused by cadmium. In this case, the greatest benefits of today's recipe will be experienced by individuals with advanced atherosclerosis. Why? Because this meal reduces the risk of plaque formation by neutralizing the harmful effects of cadmium on blood vessels. As a fun fact, I'd like to add that the combination of magnesium and alpha-lipoic acid, which are abundant in today's recipe, also helps reduce inflammation caused by cadmium in the liver, kidneys, and bones. This effect has been confirmed in studies conducted on animals. Let's now reference the findings of a 2019 scientific study titled Alleviating Effect of Alpha-Lipoic Acid and Magnesium on Cadmium-Induced Inflammatory Processes, Oxidative Stress, and Bone Disorders in Rats. The study states that both magnesium and alpha-lipoic acid reduce oxidative stress, lower levels of inflammatory markers, normalize bone metabolism, and improve liver and kidney function. Now let's step away from the topic of the magnesium and alpha-lipoic acid combination for a moment. An additional protective mechanism for our blood vessels, resulting from consuming this meal, is its high magnesium content. Magnesium deficiency is one of the risk factors for developing atherosclerosis. Therefore, maintaining proper magnesium levels significantly supports the health of blood vessels. In summary, this combination will not only improve the function of our arteries and reduce the extent of atherosclerosis, but it will also protect our kidneys and liver from the inevitable damage caused by cadmium. Now that we understand how the ingredients in today's recipe work, let's move on to the practical part. Let's get started. To prepare today's recipe, here's what you'll need: 5 tablespoons of chia seeds, walnut oil, pumpkin seed milk, or almond milk, about 50 grams of walnuts. Optional, a few pieces of dried cranberries. You'll also need some basic tools: a grater, any container, a cutting board. Now let's move on to the preparation. Step 1. Pour 5 tablespoons of chia seeds into a container. Step 2. Add pumpkin seed milk, or almond milk, until the milk level is about half a centimeter above the seeds. Step 3. Mix thoroughly and let it sit for 15 minutes until the mixture thickens. During this time, the water-soluble fiber will be released into the milk, and the mixture will take on a gel-like consistency. Step 4. Meanwhile, grate the walnuts. This step is especially important for older individuals who may have difficulty chewing thoroughly. Grating increases the surface area for digestion, making the nuts easier to absorb. You can use a regular grater or a special nut grater. Step 5. Add part of the grated walnuts to the prepared mixture and pour in a little more milk. Mix thoroughly. Step 6. Add the remaining grated walnuts and mix again. Step 7. Finally, drizzle the mixture with walnut oil and give it one last stir. Step 8. Optionally, you can add a few pieces of dried cranberries for flavor. And that's it. This is today's recipe. Simple, healthy, and packed with ingredients that support vascular health. What do you think? Will you try incorporating today's recipe into your diet? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might benefit from it. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and stay healthy.